Check, check, check. Check. Is this thing on? Hello? Hello? Does this work from long term away? I don't think it does. I wonder how close you have to get for that to work. Does it work? Doesn't look like it works. Oh well. I'm gonna wait for more people to come in here, and then I'm gonna make a video. So in the meantime, I'm gonna be making waffles and coffee. I've been up since like 6:30, but so I'm just doing this for the sake of the bod. This is only getting streamed to RTX Rob Fun on YouTube because it is IRL, and the content of this is going to be primarily related to IRL kind of bike packing, biking, cycling, outdoor fun, and how to save um, how to write on the road, how to take care of writing, and I want to get into it, but I want to just put that at the beginning of the VOD so that you know what's going on. That's what this video is going to be about. We'll probably talk about a lot of things while I eat my waffle and make some coffee and stuff. And actually, at one point, I probably am going to edit it. Hey, how are you? I'll probably go ahead and edit the this VOD. What I'm going to do is I'll go in and like cut a whole bunch of highlights out of this VOD and put this VOD in standard form so that I cut it out because I think it's going to be really important to talk about, and I'm not going to be sure to cover it all really succinctly. So what I'll do is I'll just use this VOD, and then I'll go back and I'll chop it up, and I'll take out all the boring crap of me, like I don't know, like doing stuff. But I can't read from back there. You started using Obsidian? Yeah. This is the Obsidian phase, but you know what? The first thing you need to know about Obsidian is that I hated it for years, and it's important that you know why I hated it. The reason I hated Obsidian is because it encouraged a bunch of people to write Markdown that was incompatible with GitHub. And so this morning, I was looking for something that could handle my note-taking while I'm on my bike, like literally on my bike with no computer. Is it possible for me to just take a note by talking to my phone, just like I do with ChatGPT, except for ChatGPT ran out of history. So I made another video about that, right? I made a video about how you don't need Zettelkasten anymore because ChatGPT, right? And ChatGPT's got, but I hit a constraint with that because Chloe started saying you're out of memory, so I had to delete memories from that. And actually, I had confirmed with Chloe the difference. And I said, well, what if we have a conversation and then I take that conversation once I get it kind of pared down, and then I copy that into, an Obsidian note or a Zettelkasten note or a Markdown or something. She goes, that's a great idea. And of course she said that. So I started doing that. And then I was thinking, well, a lot of these notes are not published and are not production enough. So the most recent phase that I had of this was perpetual publishing, and I started writing ASCII dog blogs everywhere. And that's great. I really love that. But the problem with that is you cannot do it remotely. You're screwed. If you try to do that remotely, you're screwed. You cannot do it. Uh-oh. Like smoke. You can't do it remotely, friends. You can't. So I need to start turning my text on. So I cannot edit ASCII doc remotely. And you know what's funny is because when I was like getting into the like digital nomad by bike, like living on my bicycle, that was when I started, blogging to WordPress, and you guys are like, oh my God, WordPress, And the fact of the matter is, if you are going to do this stuff on the road, then you need to use more conventional tools that are going to be available on your phone, particularly those that play nice with text to speech. Sorry, speech to text. So, of course, Obsidian is, and I tested this morning, and I cannot wait to demonstrate this to you. I cannot wait to demonstrate these. I have hit the most impressive way to take real-time notes live and have them automatically published to GitHub. Automatically. And while I'm taking the notes, I don't even have to tap save or anything. It just does it. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, this is like, I don't care any kind of like, inhibitions or concerns that I had about GitHub before. I mean, sorry, about Obsidian before are obliterated. And then so I was like, okay, but I still got, these gripes. I have a couple gripes here. I don't like, um, I don't like that they use wiki links, but guess what? There's one setting, it's built in. You just go turn it on, it's not the default. You go into the settings, and I'll do this all in a video, but you go into the settings and you change it, and after that, you can still use bracket to like pull up a link. So if you want to double tab it out after you do that, you can, inline your links, which is just so freaking cool. But you can also make it so that when it creates a link out of it, it doesn't use a media wiki link. It uses the actual markdown standard. So my concern about it, not people have said forever that you didn't have to use wiki links, and that always was honestly that was my biggest complaint. And then I always felt like, oh, they're trying to get you to buy their stuff. You know what? I'm actually paying them their $4 a month now. You know why? Let me tell you about synchronization, okay? So when you have synchronization on, this is just so freaking cool. I actually found this by accident. Okay, so let me start the wobble. I was writing, so I was like, wait a second. Okay, so I got it all going on my laptop, right? And I was typing away, and I was like, wait, there's no save button here. There's no save button. I was like, what's going on? It's like, oh my God, it's automatically saving every like 20 seconds or so, actually 5 or 10 seconds, I think it is. Every 5 or 10 seconds, it's automatically saving to the file. There is no save button, period. It's like built in. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, well, that saved me the hassle of like having to save stuff, right? And then I was like, okay, that's fine. And I got playing with that. It's okay. Now let's actually test it on the phone, which is the reason I tried it in the first place. And so then I pulled up the app on my phone, and I started going to it, and I started, I thought, okay, now here's a really great part. New thing, edit. And then I started, talking to my phone, and I was actually creating notes way faster than I would be able to type them. And you can actually go check all these out right now. You can go to github.com/artifactsrob/notes, and you can see my repo for this. So this is the beginning of a new era of note taking. And I, right on the front page there, I put all my notes about how I do it and why I use Obsidian, including this discovery. So as I'm like talking into my phone, and it's automatic. I mean, it's got spelling errors, and it gets it wrong because it's speech to text, but it's, it's pretty good. And I mean, I imagine if I had an iPhone, it would be even better, because the speech to text interface is way better on iPhone than my Android. It was actually way better on my Pixel too. So the next phone I get will be a Pixel for sure. I like my Samsung, but the next phone I get will be a Pixel. It has way better speech to text. So, and I mean, given how important speech to text is, I think that's a really, particularly for somebody who's like, living on their bike or outdoors all the time and wants to take notes while they're, I mean, the main reason for this is because I have a lot of, whether or not I'm live streaming, I have a lot of, some of my best thoughts, my best code breakthroughs, my best ideas about what I want to do in life or where I want to go. So that happens while I'm on the bike or when I'm outside. And so, and I also am old, so I really lose my thoughts quickly. I don't remember things. I'm just going to own it. There's things I can't do at 57 that I could before. And one of those is remember anything. I was already bad at remembering, but now I'm really bad. So having Obsidian just open, right? So I can just like have a running note open, and there's actually a thing called a daily note, and Obsidian is built in by default. It's the default plugin. And so you can just have that open while you're on your bike trip, and then you can just bike ride or whatever, and you can just talk into the thing, right? What was that? There's some kind of knocking or something. I don't know what that was about. So, uh-oh, my waffle split open a little bit. So anyway, you can just have that open, and you can sit there and talk into it. But here's where it gets really cool, right? So while you're talking to it, while you're sitting there talking to it, if your laptop is open or whatever, and you have Obsidian running there, guess what? I was like, wait, do I have to like click on sync or something like that? And I bought the $4 a month sync thing, which just gives you one repo, but that's all you need. You just need sorry, vault, they call it. My vault, yeah, one vault, but I already wanted that anyway. I wanted one vault and then one notes repo. Hey, Sam. And so while you're listening to this, you're just sitting there talking to it. And then I looked at it, I looked at the screen. I looked at the screen of my laptop, and it was like a ghost was typing in Obsidian. It was like a ghost was typing. It was like typing everything out as I said it. As I said it, it was like every other second. It looked like Battlestar Galactica. It looked like Captain Adama in the 1980s Battlestar Galactica, right? It was like it was like I was talking into my phone, and it was updating on my phone, and then it was automatically updating on my screen. And then after I got GitHub Sync working, every 5 minutes, which is the current interval, every 5 minutes, it would automatically publish that to GitHub. So check it. So if I leave my laptop at home, which I don't want to carry with me, hell no. This is what started all this. I was like, even though I got a 14-inch laptop, I'm not carrying it. I'm taking my phone and that's it. I'm taking my phone like a Houdini for rain, if in case it rains or something, or and then that's it. And my rig, my camera rig, that's it. And water bottle, maybe. So I'm going to just go ultra light on my bikepacking for now. And I just know you can barely even call it bikepacking. Good catch, Sam. So once I learned that, if you leave your laptop on and Obsidian open, and you have the plugin for GitHub Sync on, I can be on the road and I can have the note open, and all I have to do is switch to the note and talk to it a little bit, push the speech to text, and then just talk to it. I just talk to it for a little bit, like say whatever to it, right? And then it will save it, and I don't even have to hit save. Then I can switch back to the live stream. I can switch back to my GPS, my Garmin, or whatever, my ride with GPS, and I can navigate. So when I'm having a thought in the middle of the thought, and by the way, if it can't talk to the internet, it's still saved. Think about that for a second. So the automatic synchronization happens best in time. So as soon as it has internet access, that means if I am on my phone with Obsidian running on my phone with a full copy of my entire, notes database, which means I can access it at any time. I can go on any bike trip and read any of my notes in there, and I can take live notes. And then when it gets to the internet next, it will actually synchronize the notes up. Not only that, but if my laptop's running at home with GitHub, with Obsidian running, it will auto sync it up to GitHub. So that means anybody who's been following along in my notes or whatever can just see it automatically. All they have to do is subscribe to the GitHub. So basically it has every positive thing from every technique that I've ever used. Plus it allows full keyword searching. And because it uses space in the names, in the file names, because it uses spaces in the file names, you can now search the files. The files are not these, stupid index things. Yes, there's an infinite number of them at the root level in GitHub, and I figured out how to make it so that when you click on things, you can navigate. You could not do that before. There's actually some really important caveats to this, which a caveat means kind of warning. There's a few things that if you do them wrong, this will not work on GitHub. It will not be compatible. The most annoying one is that you have to make a flat repo with everything at the top level. That means pictures and screenshots and PDFs if you have them, or which you don't want a lot, right? Because it's going to take extra space you don't need. Screenshots are great though, right? Just put those in there and drag and drop them right into your Obsidian thing. And so, but it has to be flat because when the converter doesn't put a / in front, GitHub has an annoyance where it will not link. You won't be able to go to the GitHub thing and click on it and have it link appropriately if it's relative, because it considers everything relative, even if it doesn't have a / in front, to be the root, which is totally stupid. It's a total GitHub bug, but that's a bug that's been around. And the only way around that is to put / in front of it. And short of making an Obsidian filter, which I could do that, automatically do that. But then I realized that I can use the standard supported relative links, which is like, obsidian.md or whatever. And I can do that as long as I don't make subfolders. And that's kind of against the Obsidian approach, is they use folders for categories and stuff. But I actually don't think that's a good idea, because I've already talked about this, that, when it comes to notes, any kind of hierarchical taxonomies always fail eventually, because something will end up, you know, matching with multiple things that are not in a particular category. And by creating a folder, you've independent, you know, kind of done that. So if you're going to do that, just make a new repo, right? And then just manage it that way. So by having everything at the top level, though, I realized this completely by accident. So I was like, I wonder what it would take to search all of my notes, my Obsidian notes, my Markdown notes from GitHub, right? So there's a regular search mechanism, which I've been doing forever. But more importantly, because the titles are the identifiers for my files with spaces and everything, they are full sentences, right? So you know, they're useful information. The thing that's really great about that is that when you go onto the page for GitHub that has, you know, your main thing, it's going to have like tens of thousands of them eventually, right? But if you type a filter criteria on a keyword, it will isolate it down to the same ones, only the ones that are applied. And that is the same technique that you use in the phone app and in the other app to isolate, you know, hundreds, if not thousands of like different, you know, one thought sort of Zettelkasten-y notes, which you kind of have to impose on yourself to do that. But you know, it does the filter. It does the filter. So as long as you've used useful titles, if you've made useful titles, you can go in there and change it. Now, why didn't I use useful titles in the past? The biggest complaint, and there's tons of old Zettelkasten entries that I don't agree with anymore, including Tim Berners-Lee, who said the worst thing about the web was hyperlinking because people are putting names into the links, right? So obviously that falls for Obsidian, but here's the difference. This is not a web page. This is just a way to do it. And so the really great thing is, if you use the Obsidian app or you use the Obsidian thing, you can go in and if you change the title, right? So let's say you change the title of something, since the title is used as the link text for everything, if you hyperlink or however you want to do it, if you change the title, it automatically, there's a setting, you have to go to activate it, but it'll automatically update every single file that links to that. There's no like find and replace and all that stuff. It does it automatically. So that means it can go in and find everything. It can resolve the link. So let's say you need to change, you don't really like the name of that. Like for example, I had the title, one of the titles was Obsidian. And I changed the title to be Why I Use Obsidian. But I had tons of stuff linked to it. And I was like, oh, damn, this is going to break. And I went in and changed it. And then it automatically told me changed in 20 files or whatever. And it told me every single file that got changed. And then it automatically GitHub synced it so that you can get to that and see every file that changed. In addition to that, I mean, at that level, that's like totally next level note taking, like to the level, and that's not even counting screenshotting. So the whole entire, one of the things that's been bothering me about my Zettelkasten approach is what a pain in the butt is to integrate an image, right? So if I take a screenshot and I want to put an image or something in there, it's so hard to copy it in and then link it and everything. Well, that's actually one of the cases where a GUI is nice, right? Because you just take a screenshot and then I do MooBlast, which brings the screenshot into my note knowledge base, whatever, my notes repo, and then I rename it something unique. That's another thing, is that when you splat it, it forces you to make everything uniquely named, which makes you really think about the names. You don't want, you want names that are super meaningful. So then you end up with this meaningful name, and for the picture, and if it's the main picture, I make it the same name as the note that it's going to go in, and so that they, you know, sort next to each other, and then you just drag it in. You just drag it in and it makes the link for you and everything, and it puts it there, and you start typing right after it and you're good to go. And again, no need to do any kind of saving or Git saving or synchronization or everything. And not only that, but when you drag an image in like that, if you have your phone with you, the image will automatically show up on the page that you're on. So, and the thing is just, I mean, here's another really, really cool thing about that. So I have never been able to integrate screenshots of my phone into my writing, because it's such a pain in the butt. You have to go into the thing, and you have to, like, you know, you have to do your palm swipe, and then you get it in there, and then you have to Google Photos it over and drag it in, and then you have to do all the steps that I just said about, you know, just getting any picture to show up in your Zettelkasten. That all goes away now. All of that goes away. It's like so cool. So all I have to do to put a screenshot into an Obsidian note is do a palm swipe to get a screenshot. It gets saved into my storage, right? And then I go into my Obsidian and I say, I hit plus, or I had, import, and I grab the picture and I put the picture into the note on my phone that I'm already talking into because it's faster than typing. So I'm already there. And then as soon as I do that, it automatically syncs it into my storage on my laptop and then publishes it to GitHub with the palm swipe screenshot from my phone in it. It's so stinking cool. It's so stinking cool. I don't think, honestly, at this point, I'm very serious. I do not think it is physically possible to make it easier to take notes. I don't think it's physically possible. Literally, I am literally taking my phone, just swiping just to get to Obsidian and talking into my phone and putting my phone down when I'm done with the note. That's it. There's no other interaction at all. Nothing. That is the simple. If I had my dog or if I had an assistant or anything taking notes for me, that's exactly what I would do. Sam, can you take some notes for me? Can you remember blah, 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 blah? And you know they're going to integrate AI into this eventually, right? So we're going to be able to like pull all of that in there at some point. So, I don't know. You want more? Have more waffle? So anyway, super excited about that. I'm gonna take a break. I just was so excited. I had to stream it from my jammies because I was like, you know, I just had to. I should put text to speech on now so you guys can talk. I don't put anything on my waffle. It's just waffle. I'm so jazzed about that. I am so stoked. I'm gonna catch up with you guys' comments there in a second. But I feel like that's so. I'm streaming right now. I'm triple streaming. I'm streaming to YouTube, Artibix Fun. By the way, if you haven't subbed to Artibix Rob Fun on YouTube and you want to see bike content, we did our first bike stream yesterday on the new system on the new account. I'm also going to be doing a lot more like high speed road streams and gravel rides. So that's all going to be on Artibix Rob Fun. And I will not dual stream that. I'm dual streaming today because this is a technical topic and I feel like it applies to both places. Another thing too I've done is I started up a blog. I went back to my artibixrob.blog and I'm using it to be like really high quality polished articles that are, sort of like what I would aspire to write for Outside Magazine or something like that if I was to ever become a writer, which I kind of want to do. I'm actually been thinking about it now that it's so easy to write on the road. I'm going to start making some more polished articles, written articles as a portfolio of writing, so that I can potentially. I mean, I've always wanted to be a writer. Honestly, more than a technologist, I wanted to be a writer, and doesn't necessarily mean I'm good at it, but so that's what's up. So yeah. Sam can stay there. You still want more? Oh. I mean, I guess I can sit over here a little bit more. Yeah. Blog, yeah. So the blog's artibixrob.blog. Ivan, how you doing? Good to see you, Ivan. What's the blog's? RTBX, it's just WordPress. Yeah. But here's okay. Let me justify that before you guys attack me for using WordPress, because I mean, God knows it's horrible. You know why? No, no more rant of Obsidian. No, you want to talk about Obsidian more? I can talk more about how awesome Obsidian is. We're going to be, I'm not ranting against Obsidian now. In fact, I'm going to delete any video evidence that I did not like Obsidian before. I'm going to actually try to do this more. I'm going to start going back and curating the content that I have in my, it's going to take forever. I have thousands of videos at this point, more than 2,000 videos. And, you know, the reason I was looking at the videos is because I was like trying to consider moving my outdoor videos over to my Artivix Rob Fun channel, which is the outdoor channel. And I was going through them all and I was like, this is going to take forever. But one of the things I definitely am going to do, what? You trying to get, you want more waffle? How do you know I have more waffles still? To turn Obsidian into, turn on Obsidian in 2 weeks. Hey Ray, how you doing? I'm using Obsidian right now. Yeah. So once again, it's a call to action. I just learned good streamers and good YouTubers, they have lots of calls to action. Turn against it. Are you on the new one, Ray? Here, give me a sec. I'm not going to turn against it. Teach a young man that it's okay to change your views. Oh, you're talking about, hey Ghost, how you doing? You've been chatting all this time? God, I love your icon. At Restream, it shows it up really close. It's really cool looking. Yeah. All right, here we go, Ray. I'm going to try ugly. Oh, ugly. I got a Roscoe. What's your mountain bike? What's your mountain bike? Yeah, I've been wanting to know that. Because I like I got a true mountain bike. It's RWX Rob FUN. Hey Matt. It's a Meta GR. I think I looked at that one. Is it, do you have 2.6s on there? I think you do, right? You have like a 140 mil travel fork, and then like this is still technical content, everybody. You have a, oh my damn. So you got kind of a mullet going on, but in tires, right? But yours is full suspension, right? You have a squishy. I'm learning the lingo. I'm learning the lingo. Squishy. She has a squishy. Just don't say that too loud. Ugly has a squishy. Yeah, there you go. So, Sam, you ate more of this waffle than I did. There you go. Yeah. Oh, mountain. It's heavy. That's why I got the hardtail, because I wanted to be able to. It's not heavy. Mine's not heavy. I mean, when you say heavy, you probably mean you have a different term. I got new glasses coming in the mail, guys. So you don't have to watch me. I also have new teeth coming in the mail. I ordered them. I ordered them, yeah. New teeth are us. Yeah, Sam's there. Did that mod go through? I don't think it did. It's all aluminum. I know. I have aluminum too, but I don't care. I'm not. Look, I'm in it to be. I'm not racing. I'm in it for the health. So I got entry level 105 mod. I got entry level 105. I could not go lower than 105 though. That's just bound to break. I got the Roscoe 8. So that's 105. I only paid 1,600 for it. I know that seems like a lot, but I think you know that that's a great deal, right? I did. I only paid 1,600 for it. It was a great deal. So I was like, I did a whole thing on it. Guys, we're still talking tech, I promise, but what? You drink? Did you get a drink of water? Good for you, girl. Why don't you go lay down? You know, how do you know I have waffle left? How do you know? It could be completely empty plate. Do you know you can still smell there's a waffle there? Oh my God. Bike tech. Bike economy is still dead. You know what? A bike economy being dead is good for people who want to buy new bikes. It sucks for people who are buying used bikes or selling used bikes. I donated my yellow carbon bike. I donated my yellow carbon bike to kids, to the kiddies with Campy, rather than like pay another $200 for Campy because that doesn't work. So, anyway, they have this like Wheels for Kids or something like that, and the Trek dealership has it, and they said they would fix it up and donate it. And I was like, damn, that's really nice. I feel like that was a good spiritual thing to do based on the fact that somebody gave me that bike, and it gave me so much fun for that year until I crashed it. And then I got a Quadlock. Yeah. Mod Ray Turner. Let's see if it works. It's nice that you made another channel. I don't understand anything with coding, so I couldn't really watch it. Well, I mean, it's going to take forever to build it up. I don't have affiliate on it or anything. We do have, we tested it yesterday. We tested the new channel yesterday, and the sun is coming out, which means I am going to be on the trail within the next 3 hours. And we're going to go try Fisher Farm and see if I can stream it. I don't know if it has enough. The problem with streaming mountain biking is you can't use my Starlink for it. Yeah, I'm a senior dev, but I don't know. Yeah, whatever you had to. Yeah. Well, I think we've gone back and forth on having two channels for a long time. I think the thing that always convinced me to not have two channels. Oh, how you doing? Hey, good to see you. I think one of the things that convinced me to not have two channels in the past was how much work it is to build it back up. To get it back to even affiliate, it's going to take me a year. I had my 5-year anniversary for Artivix Rob was it January 18th or something? And yeah, Ray, did you get mod? Did it not go through? I don't think it went through. Did it not go through? Oh, okay. Let me try one other way. And then I'll mod everybody who's here who wants mod. Mod for you, mod for you, mod for you. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at how easy it is. So you can do like search for link here, and it gives you all the files that have the word link in it. Isn't that awesome? Oh my God. Please no mod. Hey, Ross. No mod for me, please. I do not want mod. That's like, this is a tech thing, but it's like root access. So everybody who wears a t-shirt like got root. I'm like, dude, don't brag about having root access. You know why? I have seen this happen when, pardon my French, when shit hits the fan, guess who they go to? Guess who they go to? When they're doing the audit to see how come everything went belly up, they're looking at every keystroke you ever typed because you have root access. Root is sex in Australia. Oh, it's kind of sex in the Unix world too, actually. Yeah, it's the most intimate you can get with a system. I am totally cutting myself off there because I'm still streaming to the suitable for work channel. This is another thing. This Artivix Rob is going to now be like, crisp and clean and no caffeine and like completely good for whatever. Keystroking is intimate. We are still not making jokes about that. Not right now. Not right now. All right. So wait. So here's Obsidian. Wait, what was I doing? I was modding all the mods. I was giving everybody the mod access. We're gonna come back to Obsidian here in a second, I promise. I'm actually gonna repeat everything I just did. See, you definitely deserve moderator, Ugly. You're like the best of moderators. Yeah, because you have good taste. You legit have good taste. I mean, I was gonna name some mods by name who don't have good taste. Oh my god, what am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing. All right, first of all, I'm going back to the Twitch channel. Hopefully I'm not doxing anything. I did not even look. Yeah. Stream chat. All right. Why Obsidian? You're big on Zettelcast and Plug It Up. I will repeat S-Rule. I will repeat all of that in just a second. I'm pretty much anti-Zettelkasten at this point, and I will repeat what I said earlier. I want to go through all those things point by point because I've written them down and I want to review that. So let me give a couple of people mod, and I'll be right with that. So please stay tuned or come back and check in a couple minutes. Yeah, that's right. I have actually watched Mira, the gym girl. Oh my God, she's so weird. Anyway, so I'm gonna make it into a video, into a recording though, so I want to do it succinctly. I've been kind of like talking about it, but yeah. So wait, we're gonna say we're modding Ray Turner. Ray Turner, you can have mod. Ugly definitely gets mod. Where's Akiptif? Akiptif left me. Akiptif left me. Yeah, he's like, he's never going back to writing. And now he's never gonna know because reasons. Who else needs mod? Who's in here? I should go see. Hack the planet. Hey, Return to Dust, what's up? Matt's in here. Matt, you have mod already, yeah? You do. Yep, I see that. Oh, no, you don't. Matt, you just have to promise me you're not going to mod when you're drunk. Somebody should take mod away from me when I drink. My wife pulled a hidden German beer out of the cupboard yesterday, and that's the first beer I've had in like a month. Yeah. Ivan, you want mod? Are you going to be here enough to have mod? Done, you got the promotion. I got no problem. I should probably be VIPing. I gave it to Jalopy and you, yeah. I thought I did. Well, Matt, you're commenting in the other channel. You're not watching the Artivix Fun channel. Yeah. That's why it says Twitch there. Oh shit, what did I break? What did I break? Did I break something? No, okay, never mind. Return to this. It's time for beer. 9. This is actually really great. This is a great way to see who has like switched over and who has not. Oh, Ivan, you're on the tech channel, yeah? Yeah. Good. Okay, we're gonna get back to tech topics, I promise. I am also streaming to YouTube. Yes, I am. Right now I'm streaming to YouTube Artivix Rob Fun on the YouTube. The new channel. You whispered it, Kipdip? I don't, you know what? I probably should have done that. Yeah, he's a good bot. He's a good bot. Yeah. Now you're in the fun channel. It's the fun V. We just got done watching all of Marvel, almost all of it. We just did Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, and now we're in the one after that, which is so weird. We're in the Wakanda one, which I fell asleep in like 3 times. It's so boring. I want to like it so much but I just can't. The first Wakanda was good, but Wakanda Forever is horrible. Anyway, no fun on tech. All right, so let's do this video again, and then I'm gonna stop streaming about this topic, and then when you see me come back next, I'll be in mountain bike gear, and I'm gonna go mountain biking. So, so okay, so here we go. HR stuff is out of the way, yes. My 8-year-old has ruined my YT algorithm, and I'm all for it. Yeah, I can see that happening. Yeah, dude, I have totally missed the biking streams too. You know what I really miss the most is I went back and watched my mountain bike streams, and I was like, damn, these are fun videos. You know what I mean? So I dare say that biking is literally the best IRL streaming you could do, like outdoor IRL streaming. You don't know those words. You want to go sit on the, you want to sit on the patio? Is that it? Okay, fine. Okay, fine. All right, fine. All right, come here. Oh my God, the sun is totally out. It burned off all the gray. I have got to get on that bike. She's coming out here to the sun. She's going to do the sun in here. Here you go. Here you go. Here's you a nice place to lay in the sun. There you go. Oh my gosh, it's such a perfect day for a bike ride. What the hell am I doing indoors? Okay, let's make this video so I can go ride. Critical mass streams are fun, yeah. Yeah, this is my wife's doing. NC's warmed up, yeah. NC doesn't ever get too cold, actually, though. Sugar Russ's video driving their bus around Iceland. Oh boy, that would be fun, actually. How you doing, Bobby Tom? I almost don't want to do the video. I'm not even lying. I'm like, screw the video. I want to ride my bike. It's the biggest problem. Make a video another time. Well, I already kind of did make a video. So let's do the Obsidian video really quick, and then we'll go biking. But this actually relates people's. Here, let me see if I can do this. I can be a small face. Oh boy. And then main. Wait. Oh yeah, this apartment's like 1,000 times better. It's 1,000 times better. Yeah. It is. It's so much better. Can you hear the kids outside? Yesterday I went outside and the kids were like racing around the parking lot on their bikes, their training wheels. It's awesome. It's a nice apartment. Those of you who have been, please don't say, but those of you who have been watching me for a long time, yeah, you could do a pretty good geo guess, but I don't want to. Please don't publish it. My wife will freak out. Yeah, we moved. We're totally in a different place now. Yep. So, and again, my stepson's going to want to come in here and eat, so I'm not going to be able to keep doing this. So let's do this instead. Oh, this is my Patagonia down. It's so nice. I use that for a sleeping bag. Like, it's cheaper than any of Vivi. You just get a Vivi and use that. It's really nice. All right, I'm gonna go back to Maine so we can do this video, and then we're gonna get outside. And that, because I'm being taunted. I am being taunted right now by the beautiful outdoors. All right, so does this work now? Yay. Yay. All right. Do 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 do. I feel like be a little bit like that, a little bit better. All right, let's make a video, shall we? There's also a time you gave a tour of the complex one stream. Yeah, but that's what I said. Some of you may remember that. Yeah. Bellum, whisper me that video. I need to delete it. I need to make sure that video is gone. My wife will freak. There are so many reasons that her paranoia about me live streaming this location is unfounded, but I can't tell you any of them because if I were, then I would be indirectly, you know, doing other stuff. So let's just put it this way. It is not hard to find anyone. You can pretty much find anyone in America, especially if they have a unique name, in a matter of minutes, if not hours. But she has this idea that not streaming our location is going to make us safer. And I'm like, honey, anybody who wanted to know where we lived could find out in 5 minutes. And I don't, you know what I mean? It's like, I know. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, we're supposed to be winking and not saying anything. But the idea that you are safe by not telling people where you are is kind of silly. And in my case, it's sort of annoying because I have to go to a lot of extra work to not dox that, right? Anyway, so let's get back to the Obsidian video, and then we're gonna go do another thing. So here is Obsidian. Most of you know it. I'm actually going to be using Obsidian for this video. And I need to increase the font size, though. That's something I've neglected to do. So let's go do that really quick. General editor. Again, this video is going to be about why Obsidian is the best note-taking tool for cyclists, specifically, and people who want to do outdoorsy kind of things. And I'm going to show you why that is. So, see here, see it just did a GitHub sync. You see that? All right. So, appearance, accent, color, adapt to system, themes, font, interface, font, text, font, font size. There we go. Old man size. Oh my God. Old man size. Yeah. So honestly, I don't even need this open really. I can like just, how does this close? I don't remember how to close it. You can't just do this. Oh, you can. Nice. Okay, so unfortunately that here. Let's see, I want to change something else about the appearance right while we're doing this. Now I do the video. I promise the video is coming. Interface font, text font. Quick font adjustment. Adjust the font size using Control plus Scroll using the trackpad. Hell yeah, that sounds fantastic. Show the title online, yes. Show the tab title bar, yes. Show ribbon, yes. Ribbon menu configuration, advanced. Zoom level, native menus, window frame size. Camera size. Translucent window. Hardware acceleration. No CSS snippets. Okie dokie. I don't like that it's like, how can I expand that? I don't like that it's doing that. I need to make it wider. Split, move. Reading view. How about that? Reading view. Yeah. This is reading view. This is reading view. I'm trying to like do this thing. They don't go like this, or they go like this, or like this. We have 3 whole viewers on. Just give me a second. As a non-biker, I've missed the biking streams. That's funny. Hi, Bobby. Bobby, if you haven't heard, you got to go over to the other place to watch the biker streams. Just letting you know. Oh wait, you are over here. Okay, never mind. All right, all right, all right, all right. I gotta go faster, 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 Rob, faster. I don't know how to expand that. I really want to expand that, and it's driving me nuts. Just a little bit. How do I do that? Obsidian settings, text font files editor. There's this thing here that you can turn wrapping off. If you want, and have it be up on the whole thing. Yep. General. Readable line length. Yeah, I have a readable line length, but turned on. There it is, right? But I feel like I want to change readable line length to be wider, and I don't know how to do that. Here it is right here. But if I turn it off, then it like goes all over the place, right? Which is kind of okay, as long as I have, like, if I put something on the right. I like readable line length. I just wish I could change it. You can do it with custom CSS. Nice. Let me try an alternative really quick. So I'm thinking if I do this and then I add if I split it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, there we go. There we go. So if I had something over here, then I can just read it and it'll be fine. All right, so, I mean, yeah. All right, so this is good. This is good for the video. I mean, I could I can leave it off and just do this. This is not really very readable though. Will you just decide something? Okay. Editing, yeah. Maybe I should turn the font size down. Yeah, probably a thing that we need to do. How about 20? How about that? Oh God. I mean, that's fine, I guess. That's fine. I mean, is it though? It's not fine. It's not fine. This is going to be a big video. I'm going to make it the biggest video I ever made. It's going to have thousands of hits. No one makes videos like better than me. Okay, so I mean, there's a million things I could do here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to say, all right, stop screwing around, Rob. There's mountain biking to be done. All right. All right, so current way to update page width. What? Look at you doing my work for me. Typography. Number of characters default is 40. 40 is way too small. Where is this? What is this in? Custom block widths. You can do it with CSS, but the easiest thing to do is use the theme settings. Theme settings. Where are that? Where's that? Where are that? Where are theme settings? Is the CSS at the bottom? Themes. Manage. Default. Stop barking! Active. That's a plugin that's different, huh? All right, so community plugin for theme settings. Oh. I'm gonna get, okay, I'll give this 2 minutes, and if we can't get it, I'll be back to the thing. You know what I mean? The whole community plugins thing is worth a mention too. It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. So theme settings. We're running out of batteries, so there. Minimal theme has custom block with. For example, the minimum has custom block with minimal theme settings plugin. Huh. All right, let me think here. Minimal theme settings plugin. Trigger plugins, browse, minimal theme settings plugin, install, enable, options. This is good for all those non-terminal kind of people. Chart width, iframe width, image width, map width, table width, typography, choose font size 24, small font size 13. That is really small. Line height, normal line width, 40. Let's change that to, let's say, 80. Is what it should be. It should be 80. It was right there. Yeah, I didn't realize it was a plugin. I thought it was, I was confusing the title with the actual theme, which is two different things. So basically there is a plugin for, it does not feel like it is on at the moment. You have to click apply or something. Colorful, width frame, typography, font size 24, normal line width, number of characters per line, default 40, wide line width 50. I don't know what that means, but we're going to change this to 82. Maximum line width percent. Percent of the pace of blah, 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 default 88%. The settings is in file preview. Huh. Editor font. Features, default. To create custom color scheme, use the style settings plugin. Design petition. The settings is in the file preview. Oh. File preview. I don't understand. Why I've used Obsidian. Backlinks. Source line live preview. It does not. Maximum preview width. You think it's maximum preview width? I mean, that makes sense. I thought no, but yep. Maximum preview width. Maximum percentage of line. Actually, I'm gonna set it to 100. Just for a second. Doesn't change anything. So, yeah. This is the problem with GUIs. You can't always trust them. But, you know. Maybe I need to restart or something. Quit Obsidian. Photography 40. Wait, what? Preview with 80%. Preview 2 results. Maximum preview with. Oh, they have the pixels too. Oh, damn. That's probably what it is. I just changed the one. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, I did. I changed a different one. All right. We're going to get it. I mean, I got to learn this stuff anyway. So calm down. I'm talking to those that are getting impatient. So let's see. Where is it? There it is. Minimal theme settings. Line height. Normal width. Maximum line width 100. Much easier way would be the custom CSS. Just save your custom CSS in your root files folder, Obsidian snippets. Well, I'm going to get into that later. Yeah. I think that's probably a great idea. Is that really 80 characters? Has it been 80 characters the whole time and I just am not noticing? I feel like it's not. Is that really 80 characters? You know what? One last thing. I'm going to make it like 100 characters. If that doesn't fix it, then we're just going to make a video and go. And I'll end the video. I'll say, hey, I'm still learning shit. Number of characters, 50. How about 100. I think there's a max pixels that's not getting updated. That's what I think. That's what I think. I think there's a, yeah, that's it. There's like a max pixels because those settings are not changing anything. So yeah, map width, image width, iframe, chart, image, grids, table width, text font size 24, font size 13, line height 1.5, normal line width, number of characters per line. So I want to put this as 80. And number of characters per line for wide elements, default is 50. And actually, no, let's make that less than that. So I don't know, 60. Maximum line percentage of space inside a pane that a line can fill. Default is 88. I feel like that's not taking somehow. Text font size maybe, yeah. Well, I thought we did text font size already. Didn't we already do that? I was saying I can make it even bigger. How about we do 60? No, it's not changing the width. It feels like the pane is being the div. The div's getting constrained. So we need to set the pixels on the div. And that's a CSS thing. Somebody already said that, but that's a CSS thing. I feel like that might be the way to do this, but I've never done it. So, so now we know. Now we know what's up. So text font size is just 24. I do like the whole like constrained sides. It makes it kind of nice to read. You have to set the pane to be large in appearance. What? See, I would never have guessed that. Never. Text font. Set font to the editing already. What? No, we don't want that. Monospace font, font size in pixels that affect editing and reading views. Adjust the font with a Control Plus interface. Wait. Control Plus scroll. Okay, let's do this. Let's do Control Plus scroll. Nope, that doesn't work. That doesn't work either. They lied. That works. That works, but it's being cut off. This has something to do with the pane. Yeah. It's something to do with the pane. All right, one last try. Did I already say one last try? I'm sorry. I am assessed here now. Okay, themes. Okay. Interface font size adjustment. Inline title, show title ribbon. Advanced zoom level controls the overall zoom level of the app. Native menus. Window frame. So determine the frame Obsidian. Consumer translucent window. No. Hardware acceleration. No. I've said it 2 times already? Oh my god. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I tell you what, I'll stop. I'll stop. How's that? All right, Emma now. All right, friends, let's do this. Or in the editor maybe. SHP. Oh, how do I change the width of the pane in Obsidian? Why did I not do that? I have not been using Glowy enough. Do you see my dog? Do you see my dog? Isn't she a spaz? She's a spaz, right? She she was laying on her back. Just like all sprawled out. Yeah. Oh boy. All right, I promise we're gonna go. We're gonna go now. Huzzah! Wait, you couldn't see her, could you? You can. Hey, Daily, what's up? How to target a larger page in both width and preview mode. Wow, look at you. It's almost like people use this thing or something. People use it. So there's another reason to use it. We should actually talk about that. I feel we should. I feel we should talk about it. I should. We're almost out of battery too, so we gotta hurry, people. I have to hurry. Like, what are you talking about? We. I know. Okay. Let's see. What does it say? Readable line length. All the available with the pane. Yes. If you uncheck, we did that. Oh, thanks. I tried a button, but it didn't really come up. It works just like forum. By the way, I found a drawback this week. The content is no longer at a horizontal center of the screen, and now next left of screen. Yes. Did you know that? Did you know the CSS code to make a page to be a horizontal center of the window? I fixed for ugly long lines of full screen view too. Point out that you can just use .view content and have a specific markdown. I hated it. Blah blah blah. I don't want to do any of this. I don't want to do any of this. Okay, so that works for me. Only readable length, but it doesn't change. It's just the group of the center. Because minimal theme is broken, does not support turn off readable line length. This is a lot of fun stuff that I do not want to do right now. The margins aren't the majority of my screen now, thanks. We need to change the margins. Markdown source view is readable line length theater, code mirror, resizer with 100%. This is a CSS thing. Sadly, CSS if it does not work. Okay. Okay, enough. I'm drawing the line. Go from the page. Uncheck readable line length. And the lines take up all the available width. Yes, I know. No, I know that, but I don't want that. I want it to be centered but pretty. Yeah. You know what else I could do? I'm kind of embarrassed to just realize this. You know what else I could do? Why didn't I just do this? I'm such an idiot. I am an idiot. Just readable line length. Turn it off. All right. So, hey, look. Now we got what we want. Now all we have to do is this. You ready for it? Wait for it. Are you amazed? Are you amazed? The amazing. Oh my God, Rob. I mean, I thought you were going to be amazed at that, but clearly you are not impressed. As you should be. That was extremely amazing. All right. So there. Can I change the color? I want the colors to be, whatever, group box. That we'll do another day. Okay. So here we go. Here comes the video. Once you see a system of CSS filter show up in the bottom appearance tab and you can switch on. Yeah. That's what a couple people have said by now. Very, very smooth flexing. So, hey, my Patagonia's backwards. Hey, how you doing? Scuff Josh, how you doing? It's amazing. You can, did you know you can resize windows by dragging the sides of them? Just letting you know. Just in case somebody doesn't know that. Groovebox looks a lot like Obsidian. Okay, so you know, I need to change my terminal, but I am not going to do that right now. Kanagawa. It's a good one. It's a good one. I agree. It is a good one. The borders are nice. Yeah. All right. So get ready, get set, go. I'm going to click on the start recording button. Are you guys ready? All right, so I'm going to click on the start recording button. All right. And there's no chat on the screen, sadly. Ready, go. Start recording. Yes, it's true. I'm using Obsidian. Don't be mad at me. Don't hate me. Don't hate me for updating my preferences. Let me tell you the story. I want to make this a short video, but you know me, it takes a long time, and I have to tell you the story. How on earth did Mr. Anti-Obsidian, flipping people off, banning people for recommending Obsidian, become an Obsidian fan? Well, let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, I wanted to take notes on my phone. The end. That's it. That you can stop the video right now if you knew nothing more about this video. Seriously, I am not even exaggerating. If you knew nothing more about this video than that, you have all the answers. Everything else is kind of wishy-washy long form story. Okay. So the takeaway is very simply, I wanted to take notes from my phone. Not only that, I wanted to take notes by doing speech to text, because in 2025, speech to text is amazing, even on a Samsung. It's not as good as a Samsung as a Pixel. My Pixel was way better at doing speech to text. And I have a feeling iPhone would be way better than that. So in 2025, if you are typing, you're kind of a boomer. Unless you're writing code. Seriously, unless you're writing code in 2025, if you're taking notes by typing them out, I mean, you kind of are a boomer at that point. And, you know, no offense to the actual boomers out there. That's just a term that the young people use today. Why is this relevant? Because, look, let me show you. All right, so I'm going to give you some specific examples. Let's turn on the side thing here. So today, this entire one here, all I need is my phone to write. I'm actually going to read it. As I sit here sipping my coffee from the patio outside with nothing more than my phone and my coffee, I realize just how amazing it is to write at the speed of thought. They say that writing is good, is easy to speak aloud, and this makes it all that better because I can hear myself rather than just type it away. Now, there's going to be grammar and spelling problems and, you know, capitalization and all that. Why? Because it's notes. I'm just note taking and I'm doing speech to text. But I don't care. You know why? Because I did this with my copy and my phone while I was sitting out there, and it was automatically published to GitHub every 5 minutes. Who doesn't want that? There literally is nothing simpler. There is not a simpler way on planet Earth to take notes remotely. There is nothing. There's nothing better. There's nothing better. The only thing better would be is if you hired an assistant to copy the stuff down. But you know what they would do? They would do what you're doing, which is they would speak into their phone and take the notes and then have the model published to GitHub. So using Obsidian to dynamically sync, I'm going to get better. It's going to get even better, and to dynamically sync to GitHub and to you know, do autocorrect and all the other things it would do is see, there we go. See that just went through? That was an automatic GitHub sync that just happened. Okay. And so we're going to break all of this down for the rest of the video, but you know, the only downside of is the writing is obviously lack of capitalization, good punctuation, but as long as it's going to be in my notes in Obsidian, I don't care. Second part of the writing process, in this case, is having a WordPress blog. So I'll do a separate video on this. You know, saying the word WordPress makes me vomit a little bit in my mouth. But again, I can write a blog from my phone. Separate video on that. Totally separate video on that. But this all came about because I wanted to get rid of carrying my computer around, because I got two new bicycles, and I'm not into carrying around a bunch of heavy stuff. I want to ride my bike. I want to enjoy it. And I want to be on my mountain bike in the middle of nowhere and take a drink and take some notes about, I remind me to do this, or I can maybe have an idea. I have lots of ideas on the road, except for I'm old and my brain is not remembering things. So being able to take notes is good. And in the past videos, I've said, take notes in your Zettelkasten. And I ran it, I'm sorry, in your AI, take notes in your AI, and I ran into a limitation with that because AI runs out of memory. I knew it would. I didn't know when it would be, and it turns out it's much earlier than I thought. So I don't believe that your AI is the best way to take notes. I now believe Obsidian is the best way to take notes, period. And you're talking to a guy who wrote his own knowledge management Zettelkasten system. I took it down. I can't even get to it anymore because you should be using Obsidian. I am now a paid $4 a month customer of Obsidian because the sync is just worth it. And quite honestly, as proprietary as it is, a bunch of good people up in Canada making Obsidian, and it rocks. I mean, it is a solid application. And my biggest apologies to anybody that I may have personally roasted. I'm thinking of a couple people specifically that I've downright told them, you know, you suck ass. And the reason that I got so angry is because they were using something called wiki links. So let's break down how to use Obsidian in a way that is indistinguishable from just plain old GitHub flavored Markdown. And this is important, people. The reason that all of my anger got erupted with this is because the form of Markdown that Obsidian uses by default is not compatible with GitHub flavored Markdown. It's not even standard Markdown. It's not even common Mark. They use something called media links. If the one tweak, I've written up all these tweaks in my publicly accessible knowledge base, rdvxrob/notes on GitHub. You can go see all of these notes in real time. You can go search them. I'll show you how to do that as a way to go about doing this. So, but the point I'm trying to make here is that if you click, if you go into your settings, this is this really important setting. And by the way, I've got notes. I'm trying to call them notes instead of Zettles now, but I've got note files on all of these, and we'll go through this. I turned off auto pairing Markdown syntaxes. That was messing up my bulleted lists. Let's see here. What's the one I was going to show you? I don't need line numbers, full indent, properties and documents, strict line breaks. Okay, these are all documented in my notes. I have a whole like a bulleted list of every single change that I suggest, and we're going to review that document in a second. But I'm kind of getting ahead of myself on this first one. So let's see, readable line length. This is kind of fun. That makes it readable. We were playing with that earlier. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so I actually have links to it. I actually made videos. I mean, I made screenshots too, which I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to do screenshots easily, and this has gotten around that. I haven't put that in a note yet, but I will talk about it. I am using a paid version of Obsidian. Yep, I'm using the $4 a month paid version of Obsidian, which creates a synchronous between here and here. I want to show you what I mean by that. So you see this, why do Obsidian link? Let's get started on that right away. The reason that I am paying for this is because I can automatically publish to GitHub from my phone if I buy the sync. You can't do that unless you buy the sync, which is totally worth it. The GitHub synchronization is a plugin that you have to add, and I'll sort of break all this down. I'm not really organized right now, but you can go find all this stuff in my notes if you want to see exactly what I'm doing. So here I am. I'm looking at my phone, and I'm going to the why do I use Obsidian link, and so here it is. For some reason it switched to white. It was actually dark mode before. So what I want to show you here is, see here at the bottom, right? So I can do this. I want to show you this. So you right now you can see the screen, right? So I can do this. This is just a sample to show you how it automatically synchronizes in real time. All right, that's pretty damn fast, right? And then every 5 minutes, whatever is here is going to be saved into my GitHub. And if I delete it from either of them, so if I copy and paste this, if I copy and paste it and I delete it, Whoops. I'm not in edit mode. I'm in read mode. Oh, I'm also in VI mode. You know what? I'm going to turn VI mode off of this. I've been super debating about whether to VI mode or not. And when I use a GUI, I tend to not use VI mode for lots of reasons. Because you can't use filters and stuff. So anyway, that little delete thing doesn't work. I don't know why I would use VI mode in Obsidian, unless your fingers were really married to it. All right, so here we go again. Let's do this. So delete, hit delete, delete, and then it'll do the thing. It's just showing right here. So about done with this video. Auto, sorry for that. I just had to make a video. So did you see how that went away? Okay, so the last thing here. So why I use Obsidian. So what I wanted to show you is that it can be deleted that way just really easily. And honestly, the rest of the benefits you can kind of just look at on your own. What's that? You need to get water. The only thing that's showing is me right now. You see right here, you can look on the screen.
What's that? Because I didn't really want you to.
You don't want me. You don't want your voice to be in the stream. All right. Well, I mean, we can like do around that. Oh, it's my bad. It's my bad. So I should not be doing live stream from here. But I am on the kitchen table doing this live stream. How cool is that, right? So if I was going to do a live stream, like a technical live stream, and I had the computer in the car and I took it to the coffee shop or something, I could do a live stream without having to take all my audio gear and everything. So this is kind of part of the new normal. Would you like to write an app? Press 10 seconds of the MP3, the audiobook. The list there's additional questions. No, we don't need that app to have someone on your PC write into a note while you're cycling. Yeah, that's another thing you could do. So the other thing that's really cool about that, so that's not actually that's not one of the lists, the listed items. So one of the reasons to use this is, as somebody said, is because you can actually share it. You can actually share the account. So you could have somebody else taking notes for you, like one of my moderators. I could give them access to I could synchronize with them, and they could make new notes for me. And you'd have to trust them, obviously, but I already trust my moderators. So if I'm not talking into it, they could take notes and stuff, and we would have like live real-time notes of everything that we're writing there. So the truth of it is all I have to do is give you access to the Obsidian sync. I don't have to give you access to my GitHub repo, right? Because it only synchronizes automatically from here. So, and I'm out of battery, of course. My battery is just about to die. Give me 1 second, and let me see if I can pause the video. Yeah. I'm almost done. Why doesn't that? Oh, there we go. Ow! Ouch! Ow. I stubbed my toe. I stubbed my toe. They really should make you have a license for this stuff. Oh boy. Okay, so all right, I'm gonna unpause right now. So I'm back. I guess that's the sign I need to finish up here. So this is the main summary of it. So I'm just gonna go down these bullet points really quickly, and that'll be the end of this video. For any more information you want about that, it will be in the link. It'll be in my notes, and the notes will be linked from my Zettelcast. I mean, from this video at the bottom. My dog is doing yoga over here. So the first thing, if you wanted to be compatible with GitHub, you need to do is keep them in a single. In order to keep the cost down to $4 a month, if you're going to do the sync, and you don't need to do that, right? You can automatically do a GitHub sync, and you can even set up GitHub sync from your phone using Termux and some other stuff. If you don't want to pay at all, you can do that. I don't mind it at $4 a month. That's plenty reasonable for me. For the amount of stuff that it's giving me. I mean, we're talking about I can take a screen capture or a photo with my phone, and I can add it to my Zettelkasten notes immediately, and it'll automatically synchronize it up to GitHub. So, you know, I'm short of blogging dynamically, that's the best thing I could probably want to do. And there's Miss Obsidian for Teams, um, and I think my biggest complaint about Obsidian was that I wrongly assumed that they didn't have any intention of supporting the Markdown standards out there, and they absolutely do. They, I think it was a bad decision to add media links, but they immediately resolved that, and you can make it so that it makes some standard links now. Um, so you need one. I think you should have one base README. That's what I have here. And so this is a README on, if you go to rdvxrob/notes, you can actually see it. And let's do that really quick. So if you go to github.com/rdvxrob/notes, you'll see, whoops, I'm in the wrong account. I have two accounts now that I stream all over the place. All right, so here we go. So this is what I was doing before. So here's the notes, and you get your Obsidian settings get saved, which is nice. And the first thing is you're going to see is that there's like a bunch of files that have spaces in it. We're going to come back to that in a second. So you click on README here, and you get the same stuff here. Now, the goal, of course, is so that the browsing of your README repository, your Notes GitHub Markdown repository, is 100% compatible with GitHub and also works in Obsidian. And if you are using media links, it won't work. So that was the thing that made me really angry. It really triggered me. And I don't remember if they didn't have it before, or I just didn't know about it. But for whatever reason, there is a setting you can go in and you can change it so that any of the media links that you add will be automatically converted into standard Markdown links. And so you can go ahead and use the convenience of that format, two double brackets, and then type it out. But you get the compatibility of these Markdown links that work as long as they're all relative and pointing to something at the top level. So let's go back to that. Let's see, I use GitHub Flavor Markdown, why I use Obsidian, why I don't use Zettelkasten, why I'm okay with file names for notes, spaces in my file names. So if you go back here, taking notes with Obsidian on a phone, keep Obsidian compatible. So let's keep going through this. I suggest you add a legal info to the readme file just so people know, and you put a disclaimer in there saying, hey, this stuff is my live notes, right? Which brings me to the next point: publish content from your notes and into polished books and blogs. So some of you know that I have a thing called perpetual publishing, which I still have. The books that I've been working on that I kind of put on hold for a second while I get back into the outdoors and everything, they are coming back. But now what I can do is, rather than having to be sure of what I want to put in the book, I can have a random thought while I'm on a bike ride, and I can, safely put it into my phone as a part of a Zettelkasten, I'm not calling it a Zettelkasten because it's really not, into my notes, and then I can go back to my notes and see which ones are recent. I can tag them, I can keyword search them or whatever, and I can pull that into the book. And that's the reason Lumen's approach for Zettelkasten made him so prolific, is because he had these notes already written. And one of the really great things about Obsidian that I've always wanted to add to any system that I started building was the ability to mind map. And you guys, anybody who's used it for 2 seconds knows about this, but this is one of the most powerful ways to do any kind of writing. It's also the #1 reason that you should pick descriptive names and titles that have spaces in them and get over your annoyance with spaces in the file names, because that doesn't ever land in anything except for the backup on GitHub, right? That's it. It's not going to become a slug. If it were ever going to become a slug, it would be something you would export later. So, a lot of people are like, well, no, duh, right? But this whole mind mapping idea, this is probably one of the single most powerful things from Obsidian that I've always liked, but wasn't willing to give up, the Zettelkasten standard or Markdown standard to get it. Well, now that I know that you can actually write 100% GitHub flavored Markdown and never have anything, incorrect or non-standard creep into your notes knowledge base, I get a graph for free. But then what you can do is you can take these nodes, and you can convert that node into an outline, and you can convert the outline into a book. And so it's actually a really great way to write books. This is how I wrote all my papers and books in college using a tool called Inspiration and Mind Mapping tool for Mac. And it's very, very fast way to create an outline out of just the creative thought process. And then boom, you put some skin on those bones and you got a book. So I'm super excited about this because this is a big part of it. But again, that's how, so that means that my perpetual, I was starting to have conflicts because I was writing a blog in AsciiDoc, and I was completely locked to not only doing it in AsciiDoc, but doing something that I really support and I think is awesome, but only for those who want to publish a book, right? So I was having a hard time recommending that as a note-taking methodology to other people. Like, should I use AsciiDoc instead of Markdown? I was like, I don't know. And now I think the solid answer is only if you're going to publish a book. 99% of people are going to be best served by Obsidian right now, free or paid, it doesn't matter, if they follow the standards. Okay, let's get back to the standards. Follow the one idea principle of Zettelkasten. As you saw in graph mode, by having one thought per node, you win, right? Because if your node has got like 2 or 3 or 4 major thoughts, major ideas, they don't show up in the graphic mode. So there's still a lot of value in, and I think in keeping with the the old ideas, of one thought per note. And the easiest way to do that is to just make sure you don't put any headings in it. If you don't put any headings in it, if you're like reaching for a new heading, it's a good chance you need a new note instead of a new heading. And if you've got 2 or 3 or 5, I mean, you can do that if it seems to make sense, but I don't. So I have a couple of other things that I do. I only make text paragraphs because I want my raw code to look really good. I'm kind of jumping ahead, but I want my raw code to be readable, which means that I will put links down below. So this is the one thing, adding hyperlinks unnecessary to paragraphs makes them impossible to read in Markdown form. By the way, this entire paragraph, I spoke it into my phone. To address this, I just cleaned up the text on this, the grammar. To address the simple, create those links, references in the paragraph in their own bulleted list at the end of the document, which is always rather short when following a one thought principle. So this means that my notes end up with the title at the top, which has traditionally been a huge problem for Markdown. Do you put a heading at the top or not, right? So my old systems, that title was always the first heading and it was always at the very top. Well, now that these things are being managed by the title itself, so the title of the file, which really took some arm twisting for me to be okay with, but the title right here is exactly the same as the title of the file. So that means you can't put fancy things in it, which I already was constraining myself to do. But so you get the title, but that gets rid of the problem of like keeping your file names in sync with it. And Obsidian is really great. If you change this, it not only changes it in the file name, it changes it in every single file that links to it. So the freedom to change these useful names is taken care of, and the infamous problem of having the first line heading of the Markdown file match is gone. Now there is a side effect to this that's slightly annoying. So that is when you click on a note, you don't have a title, and there's some people that would really get bent out of shape. I would do that. I would get bent out of shape that before, but the title's right here. Right? The title's right there in the name. It's super readable. This is just a note-taking system, so it's not like I'm going to die because it's not there. And I can change the title anytime I want, and it doesn't corrupt the internal content data there. So some people will still be put off by that. I think it's fine. So what did I do here? Oh, that's an auto highlight. I don't even know what's going on right now. Am I in reader mode? It is a GUI app, so it does kind of make me, what the hell is this thing doing here? Why is that there? This is why I don't like graphic apps. Again, why am I using this at all, right? You're like, why is Rob using this? I am using this because press escape. What the hell was that thing? Anyway, so It's probably a preview of some kind. I do not use folders. We're going to talk about why I don't use folders. That was a very tough decision. So we're going to get there in a second. So follow the one idea, abandon other outdated ideas from Zettelkasten. So let's talk about this. So the ideas about unique identifiers and being able to do it on paper and all that, I think they're old and outdated. Why I don't, let's see. Actually, you know what we could do here? So here it is. Lumen created Zettelkasten at a time when computers were not really an option. Many of the physical limitations of the system were powerful, but they constrained the system today. The speeds of processes gets the medium out of the way. Obsidian is one of those systems. Unique identifier that Lumen suggested was unnecessary. It was completely necessary for the time, but it's not anymore. I used to complain about universal unique identifiers because that's what I thought Obsidian uses, and you can do that, but it's actually not what it uses. Obsidian by default uses the human readable title of the note as the unique identifier. And I love that. I love that because it forces me to create unique titles. If I have two titles that are identical, then I have a bad title, right? So I think it's a great idea. And I don't think it was always that way when I first evaluated it. The only principle from Zettelkasten workflow that I have kept is the one main thought principle, which I talked about already. And the one main thought being up here. This ensures I do not repeat myself all over the place. Okay, so the other thing of this is, okay, let's see, abandon, allow spaces in the file names so titles and graphs are readable. So this was really, really, really hard for me to do. And there are all kinds of ways you can add a plugin to automatically make your titles into slugs. The biggest reason to not do that, I already said it, is that your graphs become unreadable. Your graphs have these unreadable slugs in them as opposed to these really pretty, you know, look at this really, really pretty one-line idea, right? So you have this one-line thesis idea and that becomes in your graph and it makes this graph very useful. If you put dashes or stuff in there, you're going to do it. It's going to not work. So I feel like that's a big, you know, disadvantage of doing it that way. So I'm okay with spaces. Every modern system allows for spaces. If and when I'm on the command line messing with it, which I am doing right here. So yeah, so you can use any font you want. So here's all of my things, right? So if I truly wanted to go in here and edit it with VI, which I will, you know, I can do why I tab, you know, don't use blah, and I can just tab it out. Yeah, okay, this to a Unix person, this is like, you know, it just will not stand. But hear me out. There's still another really great reason to do this, and that is because you've made an actual title that has that's, you know, that's a title. It's like one thought in you know, distilled into one sentence ish thing, is that you get this extremely, you know, surprising benefit in GitHub. So I made a whole thing about this, but by making these titles over here, the file names, even though they're all flat, and we'll get to that, even though they're all flat, they can be very quickly searched. This was not something I could do using my knowledge base the other way. I had made unique identifiers for all the file names or folder names, and then I had to do an actual content search to get anything out of there. But because my titles are now very readable titles, which I can do this with, my Obsidian tool and my GitHub interface are identical. And that goes for my phone as well. And I can't overstate how amazing this is, even though I encountered it completely by accident. Let me show you what I mean. So let's say that I have literally 10,000 individual notes in here, right? Okay, so the first thing is like, oh, do we really want to make all of that flat? The answer is yes. And folders and categories are a failed taxonomy approach to knowledge management. I will make a case for that in a second. But let's just assuming it's all on the top. Because it's all on the top, we can now use the built-in GitHub filter technique to find the stuff that we want to do. So I can say, give me everything with GitHub in it. And it immediately finds every single file in here that's got the word GitHub in it, right? And if it's in this directory, it's even better. So like if I do Obsidian, you can see why Obsidian marked down here. I actually I wish I could make it so that it didn't look into .obsidian. That would be really nice. Let's do something that's not going to be like that. Let's do, I don't know, how about phone? So there, all I need is a phone to write, taking notes. Did you see how wonderfully this auto sorts? It gives me a readable thing. It auto, it's a very common user interface technique to have a filter with the search, and you just type it and it auto filters it so that you can see around that. We're not going to use the terminal though. Okay, so anybody that's recommending fuzzy finders and stuff like that, and you missed the beginning of the video, the whole reason for this is because I want to use it from my phone. You can't use a fuzzy finder from your phone without a terminal. I love the terminal, but this is a note-taking tool that works in the terminal and works on my phone and auto publishes. So that's why I like it. So you can go here, you can see the different things, and it'll actually take you right to, I mean, that is pretty damn cool. I mean, look at that. Look at that. This is the built-in GitHub interface, everybody. This is the built-up GitHub interface that I'm doing right now. And both of these notes, by the way, were completely taken by speaking into my phone and writing them. Okay, so if you haven't been sold at this point, I don't know what else to tell you. This is like hands down the best way to take notes on the planet. And so choose unique descriptive titles and title case, which we already talked about. Title case is scientifically proven to be easier to read than title case. Plus, it also works really well as a bulleted entry. You might want to make sure to not put periods on the end of it, on the end of your, if you avoid putting periods on the end right here, you can do this and you can do this and you can say add link, and it will go see, it will try to find a match. It will try to find a matching note that is already there. And if there's not one, it'll make one. So like choose unique descriptive title cases, right? So if I do this, if I say no match found, it'll either erase it. Whoops. I'm gonna have to Command Z that one. All right, so and now if I click on it, it will open up a new one. So if you make the link to it, it automatically creates the file and makes a link to it. That's all stuff that I had to code into my tool, which is built in automatically. So just easier to read them, right? So, and I can go back to the last one. This is another thing too, is you would see when I was doing this with the terminal, I'd have like 15 terminal tmux windows open because I would do this and then I'd open up a new one and I'd do this. I would make rules for my tmux to open up a new window to edit the different thing. This stuff is all built into Obsidian already. So now when I save on that, okay, now did you see how it was a media link at first, a media wiki link? But if you watch this thing, let's commit this. I want to show you. So if I commit it to GitHub and I show you it now, let's see here. I'm about to refresh. And you can actually sort based on when the last one was committed and everything. If you wanted to, you could watch the commit history. It's another thing. People can still follow you. They can follow your GitHub repo and they can see every change you look, and they can look at the commit changes and the diffs to basically subscribe to you, unless you want to force them to go to your RSS on your blog or something. So they can actually follow your changes just like they could before. So if we go choose descriptive titles, just easier to read. And it just made, that actually put a comma in the name. That's kind of interesting. But did you see how easy it was to make that? Now let's actually go back to keep Obsidian compatible. What I want to show you here is if I show you the code. Oh, look at that one. That one didn't get changed. Oh, that's good to know. But that actually gives you the idea here. So you see how this one didn't get changed? I wish we need to figure out how to make that automatically get changed too. It looks like that's a remaining quirk. I don't know who did it, but somebody over there on the Obsidian project was listening, and they actually changed it. But you see, this is I'm glad this happened, because this is exactly my complaint about it in the past. In the past, this was the only way to link. And because it stayed that way, you can see it doesn't link, and these other ones do. Now, another thing I could have done here is I could actually say, I can actually edit it and change those things. And now what I can do is I can, if you already have the text there, you can right click and you can say add link. and you can click on it. And then for some reason, clicking on the link does the right thing. So I think that's probably a leftover. Um, I think that's probably a leftover that I don't like, because I really like the auto creation of the note for me, but it's not that hard to just do this, to say, to copy and paste this and say, new note, paste, right? And then that immediately becomes a note over here. And then I can link to that note, back in the where is it? So which one was that? Don't worry about slugs, right? So now when I right click on this and I do add link, it will find it. It will actually auto find it in my list of files, and it will make the link for me. And that's how I've been doing my links in the past. The thing that's really great about this is the interoperability of, a single line bullet point and what will become eventually an idea. And so a bullet point in general is already kind of a single main thought. So this ability to instantly take, notes using bullets. If you have a, those are easier to do, by the way, if you're just typing, right? So I regularly do bulleted lists of ideas, but if the more freeform ideas, I can also do that. It's just, those are much harder to do on the phone, teach speech to text. But if I have a, I regularly will like do a whole bunch of bullet pointy things, and then I want to go back and flesh those things out. It's actually a pretty common way to do this. And then I can go in there and just make each one of them into its main thought, and I can expand on it. It's not milk, my friend. It's not. It's not. It's not milk. It's not. It's because my stash is uneven. Somebody's making fun of my mustache. But good call though. No, this one right here. Yeah. All right. Enough. Back to the thing. So, is that a joke? My tiny little mustache. Yeah, my blonde mustache. Anyway, so let's go back to what we were talking about. So allow spaces and file names. Choose unique descriptive titles. Don't worry about slugs. Slugs are the things with dashes, if you don't know, that you see in WordPress or whatever. Those things are only important once it becomes a web page, right? Or if you're going to be doing a lot of file system kind of terminal interaction with the thing. If you are interacting with it in these ways, you don't care about that. Set up automatic sync using GitHub on all devices. So that is a plugin. I'm briefly going to show it to you. It's called GitHub Sync. It's a plugin. You turn it on, you point it to your remote URL. That is it. If your system already has Git access to that repo, it uses Git from the system. So it's exactly the same as typing a Git sync. And it puts the device and then the timestamp in the comment. So it's the same as my save command, except for it's got a better comment. And that's it. That's all it takes to get GitHub Sync to work. You can set it up to go automatically. Mine's every 5 minutes. And then it auto syncs when you start up. So, and something else I want to talk about really quickly here. Let's see here. Okay, so I didn't talk about it. So if you have your laptop on or whatever, it's got Obsidian, and Obsidian is running with its GitHub Sync on, you can leave that on, plugged into the wall, of course, and you can be on your phone, and I just showed you this, and you can live in real time, you can make a note, even while you're writing, you can make a note doing speech to text, and that note will be auto-synced into the Obsidian running on your laptop or wherever, and then that, every 5 minutes in my case, will be automatically published to GitHub. That's pretty damn cool, because that means that people that are following, let's say that I would, and by the way, that whole entire process is completely internet agnostic. That means that if I'm on my bike, let's say I'm out on my gravel bike and I am riding in the middle of nowhere, and I want to make a note about something, but I want somebody else to see it, right? Or I want to give kind of a live blogging note-taking system, but I don't want to make a full-blown blog, right? Now, I could make a ton of Instagram posts that always require you to have the picture, which is annoying. You can't do that live. But you can literally be biking along and you could take a note. You can even take a picture with your phone and you can put it in the note while you're biking, and it will automatically synchronize to your GitHub on your next internet accessibility. So it will store on your local phone, and then when your phone has internet access, the internal synchronization mechanism of the Obsidian app will automatically detect that, push it up to Obsidian on your laptop, and that will get automatically pushed to GitHub. So that means if you have people that are following you, like the dot watcher kind of people, you can actually automatically have people follow what notes you're taking as you go. You can make little teeny tiny videos and post them to YouTube every once in a while, but this keeps you, I mean, if you're a Turtlebyte competitor or something like that, I would think this would be an amazing resource, because you can actually do real-time notes with minimal internet activity. And since I'm going to have a Starlink Mini running off a USB battery, phone charger on my road gravel bike and on my mountain bike, I should say, when I'm doing like not trail riding, but when I have that around, that means I have permanent access to publish live notes of what's going on in real time. I'm like, in real time. We're not talking about waiting till you get to the next library. We're talking about, real time note taking, real time pictures without Instagram, right? So if you're, I love that, because it's for a live streamer like me, there's going to be moments where there's not going to be any live streaming capability. We're going to have lots of leaves, and there's no Starlink, and there's no mobile. So during those times, I can still do the same process. I don't have to change anything. I can change the act of, I can still take, pictures, and I can put those in my Ride with GPS, so it automatically publishes the picture at that spot. Plus, I can also include it in my notes if I want to on my Zettel while I'm riding, assuming I'm not in a safe place. And I can have that all be happening at the same time. And then when I get to the internet, when I have, mobile, when I'm in mobile range or satellite range, that stuff will automatically be published and synchronized. I got to tell you, that is amazing. As an outdoor enthusiast and as somebody who likes to do a lot of writing and note-taking stuff, I cannot imagine life without this, having now discovered this. So I had to share it. Let's just knock out the last few here. Setting up automatic sync to GitHub, I just talked about. Change the default to use standard markdown relative links internally. I already talked about that. Don't use wiki links or the media links that are not compatible, as you saw. Don't use anything that is a GitHub flavored markdown. This is super important. So if you need math notation, you can do that, right? That's the kind of thing you would only do from your laptop, obviously. But if you need to take really intense math notes, you can. Both GitHub and Obsidian fully support math. In fact, there are plugins to make the creation of math notation much easier. Or you don't have to actually know KTeX or whatever it is, which is, by the way, fully supported by GitHub Flavor Markdown. It's been supported for now 3 years or so. It's a subset of LaTeX, if you know what that is. Most people these days are not writing books in LaTeX. They're writing them in Markdown with LaTeX support. And then it's easier to write Markdown, and then they move it from there. That does kind of remind me of one of the downsides of this is that, and quite honestly, one of the reasons to not put a bunch of Markdown in your paragraphs, which we'll get to, because when it comes time to write the book's probably going to be written in ASCII doc, and you're going to be copying and pasting snippets out of your Zettelcast, out of your notes into your book, right? And when you do that, if you got a lot of internal Markdown linking inside of your paragraph, you'll have to run that through a converter, because ASCII doc doesn't do linking in that way. Another alternative would be to use some form of Markdown book generator. There's many, many, many of those. I just prefer ASCII doc to this day. I still prefer it. So, it's yet to be said how difficult it's going to be to take my notes and put them into a book. I made a pretty strong argument in the past that if you're doing a book, you should stick with book writing and keep all of your content in the book. But, I'm on the road, I'm not going to be able to do any of that. So that kind of thing I want to be able to do from my phone. And then I want to be able to take those notes and incorporate them into my perpetually published book in some fashion and make it change. This entire process is actually, because I can make it so public while I'm having these ideas and thoughts, this entire process has gotten so easy to read and so easy to do that I'm now back to a position of kind of waiting to do a book until it's entirely finished before I publish it. Because I've reformatted books so many times, at least 5 times in the last year, that I'm more inclined to wait until the entire book is finished and focus on creating content in many note forms, and then pulling it together. It's a little bit harder with the coding book because there's a bunch of coding examples in there and stuff that obviously I can't do from the road very easily without a computer. But you know, the more like the novel like or the travel blog articles and those kind of things, those are all super easy to do um, from you know on from the road. So that's the kind of thing. Well, probably be a distinction there. Um, but I think probably what it'll be is that my blog articles will be written in story form, and then the collection of those stories will somehow eventually go into some sort of book or travel blog if I ever do that. So change the default to use the standard relative markdown. We did that. Don't use anything that isn't GitHub flavor. Disable default automatic hard link breaks, which is really important because you want the paragraphs to automatically wrap. I've talked about this before. Only publish raw bolt on GitHub. So um, you know, I think people have told me many times that Obsidian has the ability to export to all kinds of different cool things. And quite honestly, I think you shouldn't do that. And let me tell you why. I've already showed you how easy it is for someone to browse your repo by just clicking around on the repos and then finding the things they want, just using GitHub, right? And they don't even have to have a GitHub account for that. They can do that just you know, just send them there. I think that's much better than managing yet another thing, right? Because if you set up export, you'd have to set up automatic exporting. I mean, one thing you could do is you could activate the built-in web browser that comes with any Git repo by default. The only problem with that is that it does not see things at the top level. You'd have to put it under docs, or you'd have to put it under a different branch or something. And I don't, but you know, I don't see how it's a problem to just send them to the README. Plus, you're going to get people more inclined to follow, to subscribe and like and start a repo by sending them directly to the repo than you would if you're, you know, you've got people going someplace else. If you change the default to use, so if you're only publishing that raw vaults markdown to GitHub, and you've done GitHub flavored compatible markdown, you're good. That includes something I'm getting to here, which is keeping everything flat. It's probably one of the most controversial things, but when you really think about it, it's no different than what I was already doing. Before, I had, you know, a uniquely identified file for every Zettelkasten entry, and I had thousands of them, 3, 4, 5,000 of them, and to the point where you couldn't list a directory, and you lost the ability to see the titles because the titles in my case were in GitHub Git commits. And I think that, and now looking back compared to this, I think that was a bad idea. I think it's better to keep the name unique, because if you have a unique name, you just grep that directory if you're on the terminal. Otherwise, you effectively grep it during using the GUI like I just demonstrated. And by having it all in a single top-level file, you're never afraid that there's something living down below, right? But more importantly than that, categorization by category as opposed to tagging, which is, you know, still a thing, which I'm considering, is always a fail. Because just like this video is a good example, right? This video is both a technical video and an IRL, you know, streaming video. So it's relevant to people who want to be cyclists, and it's relevant to people who want to take notes for technology. And, you know, it's got multiple categories. And if I had to pick a folder to put it in, do I put this in my IRL category folder, or do I put it in something else? It wouldn't work. And let me give you an example of this. I am dual streaming, triple streaming this video right now. So this video is going to my YouTube RWX Rob Fun channel, which I'm going to put a plug in for that. Not very many followers on there. That's just me having fun on the bike and everything, which I'm looking forward to doing. It's a great day for mountain biking out there today. And it's also getting pushed to my RWX Rob Fun Twitch channel, which is live streaming, same thing, basically the same thing as YouTube, but Twitch. Got a lot more fun plugins like Bellum's airline bot that tells you the airline that's flying overhead, and a bunch of other really cool things that are outdoorsy related. And it's, of course, that is under the, I believe we're in the IRL streaming category on Twitch, right? But I also have this streaming to another one, RWX Rob, which is now, it wasn't before, but it's now 100% tech content and only tech content. So, but this is tech content, right? So, and that category, I believe, is science and technology. Doesn't really fall under software. So, do you see my point? So, if I were to try to take this recording and organize it in my, you know, notes or even in my file system, where do I put it? Right? Where do I put it? Do I put it under IRL? Do I put it? folders and categories never work. Just like you know, the species, the phylum class thing, that just never worked. There's always the platypus that's going to break all the categorizations. It's better to describe data, information, and things in terms of what makes them a thing. And this goes for software development as well. This is why composition and interface declaration, telling you about a thing and how it does, how can it walk, can it write, can it, you know, how does it, what can the thing do, is better, and what its properties are, what colors are, is always better than trying to categorize something that has all those properties into a specific thing. And inevitably, because you can take those granular properties and mix them together, in this case tags, you know, 3 or 4 tags, and say, okay, I want everything that's got these 3 tags. So the idea of knowledge management by category is largely a fail. Now, I still do it on my blog. I have thoughts, right? But what ends up happening is I end up getting these like really monstrously huge categories because, you know, they don't have another one that's gear, right? Well, what happens when I have a story that is about how my gear failed me, and I'm telling, you know, and I lost the rest of my teeth or something? You know, it's like, is that a story? Does it go under the story, or does it go under thoughts, or does it go under gear? It goes under all of them, but now I can't put it under all of them because I have to have category. In fact, I just talked myself into removing my categories. I only recently relaunched my blog on rwxrob.blog, and I was just messing with the templates. I'm going to get rid of the categories there completely. Because tags are always better. Tags allow you to have like multiple tags on the thing, and you can say everything with this tag. Just use tags. Never end bullet items with a period. I talked about that so that it becomes a link really easily. And keep paragraphs free from hyperlinks. And I talked about that because, again, if you're going to be moving to another thing, you want all the hyperlinks to be in the stuff at the bottom, and you can get a sense of this just by scrolling through this. By the way, that's a screenshot. So there's another screenshot. So I always put, what I do is I'll end up, if I don't put the links in the paragraph, but if I've referred to another thing, then I put the links at the bottom of the page. And this is very, very compatible with bibliographic kind of things. I don't need it to have related. I used to put related after that. I'm not doing that anymore. So, you know, I think that's a good way to do it, is to just put all the links that might possibly be available down at the bottom. And then that will create the graph that you're seeking so that stuff tends to congeal. That doesn't happen automatically. I think you can make it do that automatically, but I haven't played with that yet. So a bunch of really great ideas about how to do this stuff. Hopefully this will need a rant tag. We absolutely need a rant tag. And I don't know how I haven't started using tags yet, but when I do use tags, I will use them as I think that, yeah, it already has markdown YAML tags supported, but I haven't added any tags yet. But I usually, in the past, I've been kind of anti-tag, but they're a widely accepted you know, extension to markdown. So I feel like that's probably going to be the way to go. I still am not a big fan of even tagging because I feel like the content itself is better. So if I have picked a good title, and I don't mind the titles being really long, I was limited before. I was limited to 50 or 60 characters, and now I'm not. If the title has every keyword that's really you know, really relevant, I don't really need tags, because I can do the filter, and I can say, you know, I can do the whole thing here, and I can actually filter it here. I can filter it in GitHub. The point is that, you know, I don't need any extra tags from what's already in the title. And so, you know, I may still add them back. For my blog, they definitely apply. From my blog, they definitely apply, because then you can click gear and get all the blogs with gear in them. And I believe you can do that here with Obsidian as well, but I haven't done that yet. So that's a pretty long video, but I feel like I owe it to all of the people that have been telling me to use Obsidian over the years. And they're like, I told you. And my response to those people is, yes, you were right on a lot of things. Yes, I'm sorry. I love you. I thank you for harping on me. But also, it didn't have half this stuff when I first evaluated it. Okay. And I don't know if they added it because I ranted about it. That would be really funny. Or if they, if eventually they kind of, the consensus of a lot of people started to push them in the right direction. So I fully support Obsidian. I actually want them to keep making money and stay in business. I think they're doing good things. And I am not afraid of my content being incompatible with the civilization in 100 years in the future being able to read my content, because I am now using standard Markdown on GitHub. That is browsable on GitHub and is also something I can compose from my phone. So here's to you, Obsidian. You've done a great job. You've done a great job. I appreciate it. And that's all for this video. Thank you. I'm going to go ride my mountain bike now. All right. I just don't want to be the one making them. Hey, Crisco, how you doing? Thank you for the sub. Like a personal assistant doing all the organizational stuff for me, and I just dumped any ideas into it. Yes. Well, that's okay. So I think that that's going to come, by the way. I didn't talk about it in the video. I think that, yes, let's go bike. I think, my friends, that it's just a matter of time before AI is integrated into this. AI is hitting everything so far. So it'll just be a matter of time before AI is able to evaluate all your notes and decide which notes deserve a link to one another automatically. And I feel like we're going to be able to make templates that are going to do that. So, so there you go. Yeah. Why are you watching me from RWX Rob, Pixel? Because you don't like the fun one? You clicked on the other one. I can tell where you're coming from. And see, you've been Obsidian using it for a few months. Implement Zettel with it. Yeah. Crisco answered that already. I'll take a few questions here and go back and review. Let's see, we'll cut it off at 1 o'clock. So 7 o'clock, that'll give me 7 minutes. 7 minutes of questions, Q&A. So, notebook LM probably do it, yeah. Not just notes, but personal assistance, yeah. I agreed. I made a whole video about how I wanted ChatGPT to do everything and remember for me, but then I ran into memory limitations, and I think those are going to persist. There's not enough memory capacity to remember everybody's life history. So I think, Crisco, you were asking about, the only thing from Zettelcast that I'm keeping with Obsidian is the one main thought idea. That's it. That's the only thing I'm keeping. Everything else I'm using standard Obsidian stuff, except for the wiki links, obviously. So here's what I'm changing to the general takeaway from the Obsidian thing is how it's changing is I'm still doing one main thought. I'm still doing a flat repo. I'm changing the titles to be actual readable titles instead of unique identifiers so that they can be searched. And I'm not using media links for local links, and I'm using the compatible setting. You have to click on the setting, but I'm using compatible markdown relative links so that they work on GitHub. That's the main takeaway. It seems like a plugin concern. We'll integrate AI natively. I imagine there'd be a lot of pushback on the notion. Yeah. Well, to be honest, it's not really. Here's what's interesting. I asked Chloe, I said, hey, Chloe, are you going to be able to process all my Zettels? And she said, well, if you point me at a Zettel, I can. And I said, what if I point you to an index that has everything linked? And she says, yeah, I can't crunch all of them. So AI is like singular documents more than anything. So we have 5 minutes, guys. I don't use media links. The media link in the middle of the screen. Yes, that's what I was trying to tell you. Yeah. This is my biggest complaint. Whenever I've had a drag out, like, ranty fight on Twitch, it's been because of this. This has been the thing that's driving me crazy. This has, by the way, been fixed. All I have to do is refresh. But please take note of this. This is a default. This was the default when I evaluated. You could not make Obsidian, as far as I know, in 2021, I want to say, when I evaluated it, when I first started Zettelcasting and stuff. As far as I know, in that time, either I didn't know or does anybody know? You could not do this. This was the only way to make internal links, period. And while it's kind of cool and all, you know, it was a serious incompatibility that made links from GitHub not work unnecessarily, which really pissed me off. I mean, that really pissed me off. There was no reason for them to do that. There was literally no reason for them to violate the markdown standard for that. And that kind of thing makes me angry. So, you know, but if I refresh this, you'll see that I fixed it. I already fixed it, but there's still lingering problems with it. So like if you make a link, if you select it and then you say add link, it will add a link and it will make a new document, but it won't fix the link. If you do the reverse of that, if you write out the bullet point, select it, make a new note and paste that as the title, and then go back to the text, right click on the text and say add link, it will immediately find it, and then you put that there and that will fix it. It's a totally ass backwards way to do it, but it's more explicit, right? You know, there is, that to me is still a bug. If you ask me, that's still a bug. Yeah. So you cannot turn off media links if you didn't want to use media links. Yes, you can. It does not work on GitHub. No, void. It does not. It does not. I just showed you. Did you not just see the screen? It's not in the settings, people. Media link is not, because it's not standard. Yeah. Media links don't work. So, yep. Let me tell you what I'm saying. Okay, guys, let's test one last thing. What time is it? We got 2 minutes. Okay. So I want to test this. You guys are telling me there's a setting, right? I don't think there is. Files and links. Okay. Confirm file deletion. No. Automatically update internal links. Yes. Don't default location for new notes vault folder. New link format. Shortest path when possible. What is that? Should I use relative path to file? I'm going to change that one as well. Use wiki links is off. I don't want that. Disable this option to generate markdown links instead. Yeah, this is off. But this wasn't an option as far as I know before. What happened with Obsidian is stupid. Well, I just did an hour-long video about it. You're gonna have to go watch the video. Yeah, you go watch the VOD. I'm done now. We're ending at 1. But I went through an exhaustive detail of that whole thing in this video, so please go back and watch it, Sims Lord. Yeah. Detect file extension, show files extension. This is not using video links change. No, it does not at all. It doesn't. Not now. Take notes on a phone. Yeah. Yeah. So there's going to be a video and a VOD. The VOD's probably more fun, but the video is more succinct. So my VOD's, actually my VOD's on RDBX Rob stay for 60 days. My other ones are only 7 days because I'm not affiliate yet. RDBX Rob fun. All right. Detect all file extensions, default location for new attachments, bulk folder, excluded files, config. Let's start with a dot. I guess I'm just going to leave that in there. Hello, you're like callbacks. I don't know what that's about. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to tell you. So like if I say something here, right? Now watch, if I do this and I say add link, you see what it does? An AI tagging plugin? No way. That's awesome. Yeah, look, you see what it did? And that sucks, right? Because if I click on it, it's like, okay, here we go, something. Now watch, I go back and it doesn't fix the link. That's what I don't like. You see how it stays a link? Watch. I'm going to add this, and now it's on GitHub. And I can say why I don't follow Zillocast. So where this one is this one? Why? Here. I'm showing you again. I already did this, but see this? Look. There you go. This is for Void. See that? That doesn't link. It doesn't. It doesn't link. So the only way to fix that is to do that in a different order entirely. Let me show you the order. So let's delete this. If you do this, if you do something here, right? I think you can do this. Oh, no, you can't. Never mind. If you type /, it will give you all the stuff that you already created. But since it doesn't exist yet, that doesn't help you. Or double bracket. So something here, right? Something here. All right, now that's all cool and all, but that is not a link. If I do add link now, it's broken. So I just copied it, right? So the fix for this is to copy it and then do new link paste, right? And then I say hello, and then I go back. I know it's a few more steps, but it's to me it's worth it, because now I've got this. Now watch, if I select it, now when I right click on it and I say add link, it auto finds the link because it's already been indexed in the cache. So now I click on it and it does the right form of link. And then this time now when I save it to GitHub, it'll actually show the right thing. So I refresh here and you get a link to the file, and the file shows up as long as you kept everything flat. If you try to use folders, it won't link. That breaks GitHub. Strictly speaking, GitHub breaks the markdown because GitHub does not follow standard markdown relative linking policies, which is stupid, but it doesn't. It doesn't. So you have to make everything flat for that to work, but that's how you get it to work. If you want the best of both of those worlds, that's how you do it. So you can get rid of this and delete that. And again, all that has been synchronized to my phone, and it is time for me to go mountain biking. It can do autocomplete. It can do autocomplete, but you have to have it first. So let me show you that. So that's like, so if I do Y tab, which is just freaking awesome, right? The thing I love about this, remember that thing I said about adding links to the bottom of the document that go with the thing you just wrote? You can sit here and think about what those things are. So you can say after you wrote it, if you want to link to it, like, the Zettelkasten approach, I could just do, and you could just even type Zettel and it'll like auto filter everything that's got Zettel in it. And then you just type tab. It's so freaking awesome. It's actually linking to itself right there. But the point of it is that, you know, it gives you exactly what you want. And you can, so the thing that's so cool about that is you can use bracket tab, and the completion that it does is way better than I would ever get in Vim. So I can say, so if I can say, I want to find anything that's got Zettel in it. Okay, so well, there's only the one, right? But let's say I wanted everything with phone in it. And it automatically does that filter search for me just from my, and then I can just hit tab and it'll do the whole bucket. That is so cool. To me, okay, I'm done.
You're gonna
I'm done.
for a bicycle ride?
I'm
You
going
said
for
today was beautiful.
I'm going for a bicycle ride this exact instant. Thank you for reminding me. I'm going to go raid somebody and then I'm done. Yeah. But if you use Control plus Enter on it, Obsidian will create a note named something for you. Yeah, but I don't think that is as good. Something here. What is it? And Control plus Enter? No, it doesn't do it. It doesn't make it. It's not on mine anyway. Oh, there. Okay, so it was Option Enter. In mine, it was Option Enter. But here's the problem. It's the wrong kind of link. It's still the wrong kind of link. This is, I'm going to make a guess here. This is a leftover from the broken old Obsidian. The broken old Obsidian only did these links. And I think that they fixed the new one to allow you, that's why the option for turning it off came from, right? But they haven't fixed all of the different ways that you can use media links. So it doesn't do the automated, it created the new file. That was awesome, but it didn't make it so that I could use it, right? When you turn it off in the settings. Exactly. That's what I don't understand. Boyd, the only reason I can suggest for that is because they added the setting and then they didn't update all of these just 2 or 3 or 4 other ways, workflows that use links. They didn't think of those. So technically these are bugs against it. But there is a workaround. We already talked about the workaround. The workaround's annoying as hell, but something here, and then you can copy that and then just make a new link. And this will work, right? We already talked about this, but even though my back doesn't work. So this is the way I'm doing it. So I know it's a pain. It's a super big pain, but now it'll work. And it does the right link. I don't like that that's true, but that's what I'm down with it. If I can take most notes from my phone, then I'm okay with that. So I gotta go. I'm running out of battery on multiple levels anyway. Actually, I need to recharge my I need to recharge both of my mics on my rig, and then we'll go for a little bike ride. I don't know how big a bike ride it'll be, but we'll go for something today. Yeah, I'm gonna go bike. So I don't even know who we would raid. Again, the category issue, right? Technically I could raid 2 different people from 2 different accounts right now. Yeah, because I'm streaming to 2 different things. So I'm just gonna end the stream. Thanks everybody for joining. Oh, Terry just went live. Nice. Yeah, I'm just gonna end this stream, guys. Rather than try that, that's too big a thing. All right, so it's gonna take me a while to come back online. I will be, I'm gonna be charging batteries, getting gear ready. So I probably am not gonna start streaming until about 2. I probably won't be online until about 2. But when I come on at 2, I should be on the bike, biking to a local place for some trail riding. So we'll talk to you then. Assuming I get everything charged up.